Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ya Rabbi lakal hamdu kama yambaghi li jalali wajhika wa azimi sultanik. Allahumma rabbana lakal hamdu bima khalaqtana wa razaqtana wa hadaytana wa farrajta anna. Allahumma lakal hamdu bil Islam wa lakal hamdu bil Iman wa lakal hamdu bil Quran. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين اللهم حاسبنا حسابا يسيرا اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا وعملا متقبلا ورزقا طيبا اللهم ثبتنا عند الموت بلا إله إلا الله آمين يا رب العالمين. So inshallah, with the izan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are going to finish till ayat 20. And these are the ayat. Basically, we are finishing the characteristics of hypocrites today, inshallah. So, as we are doing these duas, so I'm hoping that you guys are working on it. We are going very slow, and this is a great opportunity to memorize these duas. So, first dua was Allahumma la sahla illa ma ja'altahu sahlan wa anta taj'alul hazna idha shi'ta sahlan. And second dua that we are working on is Allahumma inni a'udhu bika. So we are seeking protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala min al-hammi wal hazan, from sadness and from grief. And that could be about grief is obviously from the past, and sadness could be from the present, or it could be from the fear of the future. So we are basically seeking all kinds of difficulties, problems, our anxieties, right? So we are seeking protection from that because they basically paralyze a human, and the human does not remain productive, right? Then we are asking from ajz and kasal. That was our last class. And ajz is like when someone is stuck and they cannot come out from that difficulty. And kasal is laziness, right? So these are all basically are the diseases of the heart, diseases of our soul. And today we are going to talk about bukhal and jubn. Bukhal, we know, we say he is very bukhil. Bukhil, basically someone who is stingy, someone who does not spend, or they are very miserly, right? So this is bukhal. And the other disease is jubn. Jubn is like when someone is being covered, right? So cowardice is called jubn in Arabic. So these two diseases we are seeking today, and we are seeking Allah's protection. And if we just ponder on these disease, why this disease happens, right? Why someone is being a coward or someone is being stingy. So if someone does not want to spend, that means he basically have a fear that if he will spend, he gonna lose on the resources, right? His resources will run out. That is the problem. That is basically his thinking, and that is because he does not have a tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us and advised us that we should have a complete tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like a bird. They go out of their nest, right? They are hungry, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provide them, they eat, they enjoy all day, right? They come back empty-handed in their nest, right? They do not store, they do not know what they're gonna eat tomorrow, right? They have complete tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He is my provider and He is going to provide me for tomorrow. So we should have the same tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? If I am going to spend in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so my money is not going to run out. Rather, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam took an oath 3 times. He said, "Wallahi, wallahi, wallahi, your money is not going to run out when you spend in His path. Rather, it is going to multiply." So we should have this belief, right? So when we have this belief, then we will not be miser anymore, right? So we need to fix this problem with the tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And same is the thing with Juban, right? So Juban is being covered. So when I have a problem that, okay, I'm fearing this person and that authority and this thing and that thing, right? So basically, I would be stressing out in my life. I'm increasing my problems, right? And problems, they are not going to be solved, right? If I'm going to be tested, I'm going to be tested, right? So the thing is that we should have a tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Instead of fearing people or fearing the authorities, we need to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only, right? So when we fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only, then what's gonna happen? We will be brave enough. We have a tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the inshallah, we're not gonna have lack of courage. It is going to give us confidence, right? The example I would ready to remove hijab for the job opportunity is an example of the lack of trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So this is our attitude today. People are ready to change their names, right? If they have a Muslim name, so they change in a certain way that it doesn't look like a Muslim name, right? So why we are hiding the identity? Because we do not have trust on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we are not being proud on our Islam. That is the problem, right? So if we have a trust on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if we are being proud of our religion, then this thing is not going to happen. We know that He is our Razik, He is our Khalik and Malik, right? These authorities, my boss is not going to provide me if he even for any reason that he doesn't like Islam and he does not want to accept me as a employee. I don't care, right? I'm not going to leave my Islam due to any job opportunity, right? I'm not going to stop wearing my hijab due to someone in authority doesn't like it, right? Because my razik Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when we have only fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then inshallah these we can overcome all these problems and diseases. So the word that we are going to memorize today, or the diseases that we are seeking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's protection, is bukhal and juban. So Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-hammi wal-hazan wal-ajzi wal-kasal wal-bukhli wal-jub. So we have to memorize this dua until here. Okay, that is our one segment. And now second segment is that we are working on our pronoun as well. And I am hoping that when you guys are going through your ayat word to word, you are paying attention to these pronouns. So the 6 pronouns we did. We did huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna. right? So these are the 6 pronouns we did. Today we are going to do another row, and that is second person. So this one is second person. And when I say second person, that means the person is basically in front of me, whom I'm talking. So this is the second person, and we are going to do just the masculine part. So masculine, anta muslimun, right? Anta muslimun, and this row, we know that this is masculine, right? And this is singular. So this is masculine and singular. When I say anta, it is referring to masculine and singular. When I say antuma, right? Antuma muslimani, antuma mu'minani, antuma muslihani. So I'm saying that two of you, you two are Muslim. You two are believers. You two are reformers. When I say anta muslimun, I'm talking to one single person. Anta muslimun, you are a Muslim, right? So this is how it works. So now when I say anta, this is a masculine singular. When I say antuma, this is dual and masculine. And then I say antum, this is my plural, and this is my masculine. So antum muslimuna, you all are Muslim. Antum mu'minuna, you all are believers. Antum muslihuna, you all are reformers. May Allah make us among them. Right? So this is what you're going to memorize. Anta, antuma, antum. Anta, antuma, antum. Anta, antuma, antum. Can someone unmute yourself and read these pronouns so far? So third person and second person.
Third person. Can I go?
Go ahead.
The third person mudhakkar. Mudhakkar. This is all Zamair Munfasil, right? So huwa. No, you want just the second person, right?
You can do the third person.
First person.
Third person, 6 of them, yeah.
Okay. Huwa Muslimu. He is a Muslim. Huma Muslimani. They are two Muslims. And then humul Muslimuna. They all plural. They all are Muslims.
Perfect.
Hiya Muslimatu. She is a Muslim. Huma Muslimatani. That is, both of the two ladies are Muslims. And then hunna, they all ladies are hunna muslimatu. They all ladies are Muslims.
Yeah,
then the second person,
muslimatun. So this is basically a tanween.
Okay. Hunna muslimatun, mu'minatun, and muslihatun.
Very good. Barakallah fiki. I'm very proud of you. You are doing an amazing job. Okay, so now the second person.
Sorry, that's because I've been attending some grammar classes. That's why I know this. Sorry.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so now you can do the
second person, inshallah. Anta Muslimu. He is a Muslim. Antuma Muslimani, Mu'minani or Muslihani. They two guys or gents are Muslims. And then Antum Muslimuna, Mu'minuna, Muslihuna. They all gents are muzakkar. Gents are.
Are you saying they? Are you saying they?
No. All of you. This is second person. You're talking to them, so all of you are Muslims. Yes. All of you are Muslims. You are Muslim. You two are Muslims, and you all are Muslims.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
And so then the muannath, which is feminine.
No. We're not gonna do that.
Oh, we're not gonna go. Okay. Jazakallah khair. Sorry.
That's all. Okay. Jazakallah khairan kaseera. Beautiful, mashallah. Okay. So now our third segment, which is basically word to word. So Soha, are you there?
Ji.
Go ahead.
Okay, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Surah Baqra, Ayah 19. Oh, or kasayibin, like a rainstorm, min, from, as-samai, the sky, fihi, in it are zulumatun, darkness, wara'dun, and thunder, wabarqun, and lightning, yaj'aluna, they put asabi'ahum, their fingers, fi, in, azanihim, their ears, min, from, asawaiki, the thunderclaps, hazara, in fear of, al-maut, the death, wallahu, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, muhittun,
محيط.
muhitun, is the one who encompasses bil kafirina, the disbelievers.
Barakallah fiki. Next.
So ayah 20, yaqadu, almost, al-barku, the lightning, yakhtafu, snatches away, absarahum, absarahum, their sight, kullama, whenever, adwa'a, it flashes, lahum, for them, mashaw, they walk, fihi, in it, wa iza, and when, azlama, it darkens, alayhim, on them, qamu, they stand still, walau, and if, sha'a, had willed, Allahu, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, lazahaba, he would certainly have taken away, bisam'ihim, their hearing, wa absarihim, and their sight, inna, indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ala, is on, kulli, every, shay'in, thing, qadirun, all powerful.
Barakallah fiki. Jazakallah khairan kaseera. Okay, so now let me go through one more time. So I'm gonna break everything for you guys, inshallah. So in Arabic, there are three kinds of words. Words can be ism, words can be fail, or harf. So whatever you see blue, right? So they are basically harf in this ayah. I'm talking about the ayah that we are doing, Awqaswayibin. So the blue gonna be the haruf, the red gonna be the ism or asma, and the green gonna be afal, fail. So if you just go through this way, and inshallah I'm gonna continue with that, so that is going to give you a good understanding, so to differentiate between ism and fail, and that is going to help you do your word to word better, inshallah. So if I said that there are three kinds of words, right? So ism is basically something that is basically a name of a person, place, thing, idea, adjective, and all that stuff in Arabic. And fail is something that has time, action, and doer in it. And harf is something that does not make sense to itself unless something comes with it. So, aw over here in our ayah, starting with aw, when I say aw, and the meaning of aw are, or, right? So, either or, right? We say either or. So basically, since Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us an example before, right? مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم, right? وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون. And now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us another example, right? The traits of hypocrites Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is showing us. So he had used the word aw over here, or, right? So if I ask you the word or, does it has any meaning of ism, or is it sound like a fail, or does it sound like a harf as I give you the definition? So as I said, that ism should be name of a person, place, thing, idea, adjective, or that kind of stuff. We do not see anything in this aw, right? Or it's not, for fail, I said it should have an action, time, and doer. Aw or does not have all that stuff. So that means this is a harf. Then comes ka swayibin. So you say this is not one word. These are two words, ka and swayib. Now ka over here meaning like. And we saw this example before in this ayah. That's why I put this ayah side by side, so you can see many words you already know. Ka over here. Mathaluhum, their example is ka mathali, like the example of, right? So same ka is being used over here. Ka mean like. So this is basically can be used for comparison or giving the resemblance of something, right? So this ka also a harf over here. Ka swayibin, like a, and swayib meaning rainstorm. Now, if I ask you rainstorm, does it have any action, time, and doer in it? No, right? So if that does not have in it, so that can be ism. And another clue I'm going to give for ism is that when you see any word that has ending of tanween, right, it is ending on a tanween, or if a word starting with al, these two things at least we need to remember. Ending on tanween or starting with al, then this is an ism basically. So the swayib mean rainstorm. So rainstorm is a name of a rain, type of rain, right? So it's a very hard rain. So that means this is an ism because it is a name of something. So minas samai, min mean from. So from, again, it doesn't have any action in it, right? It's not a name. So then basically we can put them in harf. So min is a harf. Then comes as-samai, sky. Now I told you already that if any word has al on it, or it is ending on tanween, that this is an ism. So that means sama is an ism, right? It is a name, sky. So this is our ism. Then fihi, in it, right? So fi, again, in, and in, again, it is a harf, and it. And do we know this? No, actually we don't. Fihi, it is basically another version of huwa, which is basically referring to it is, right? So fihi, that's why you're gonna say fihi, in it. So this is another version of huwa. Do we know the huwa? Right? Huwa, huma, hum, we just did the pronoun. So fihi, in it is what? Zulumatun. So again, I see a tanween, right? So this is an ism now. In it are zulumat. In it is darkness. Zulumat mean darkness. Warad, and rad mean it's a like rad is a thunderstorm, right? Yeah, Rad is thunderstorm and Barq is lightning. So in what? In Swayib. In this rainstorm, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us an example of a rainstorm. And in this rainstorm, he is saying this rainstorm is coming from sky. And in this rainstorm, there are zulumat, there are darkness. This thunderstorm is so dark that it is creating the whole environment. Of the darkness is basically overtaking the whole environment, right? In living in Canada, we have experienced that a lot, right? So the dark clouds come suddenly, right? And in periods of minutes, right? Everything sometimes so dark that it was a bright day, and suddenly it is so dark over there because of these dark clouds. And then there is thunder and there is lightning in it. So that is the example Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us. So there is zulumat wa rad wa barq. So this is all talking about Swayib, the rainstorm. Okay, so when we have all this rainstorm and it is very loud and there is thunderbolt and there is lightning in it, then what happened? Yaj'aluna, right? So now yaj'aluna, I put it in green, and green is our fail. So yaj'aluna, and I think I mentioned in our first session or second session, then when we have ya beginning and wow noon ending, right? So basically that means it is our fail inside is the pronoun inside is plural. So yaj'aluna is basically, we know the pronoun whom, right? So basically it is referring to whom. So yaj'aluna, so they are putting. Now I'm gonna translate as they, right? Where this they is coming from, this wow knows is referring that they are they, right? And this ya is telling me that this is basically a present tense. So they are putting, or they are inserting aswabiyahum. Aswabiyahum is basically their fingers. And again, you see the pronoun attached to this ism, right? Finger is an ism, aswabiya. This is an ism. And then we have another ism attached to it, which is whom. Do we know this pronoun? Huwa, huma, whom, right? Same pronoun. So they are inserting their fingers. Where they are inserting their fingers? In, right? Again, harf, adhanihim, in their ears. Adhan, it's not adhan that we hear adhan, rather it is uzun, is ear, uzun, and this is the plural of uzun. So adhanihim, so they are inserting their fingers into their ears. Why they are doing it? Minas savaiki, because of this thunderclap, right? So this thunderclap is so loud, so scary, right? So what they are doing, they are inserting their fingers into their ears. And this is one reason, because there is savaik, there is this thunderclap is too loud. The second thing is they are doing it like a fear of death. So they are thinking that they're gonna die, right? So these are the two reasons given why they are inserting their finger in it. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Wallahu, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the word Allah is, Lafzul Jalala is an ism. This is the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Muhit, again, you see Muhit with the tanween, right? So this is also an ism. So Allahu muhitun, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who encompasses bil kafirina. He is surrounding who? Kafirin. the disbelievers, right? So I hope that this is gonna help you guys understand word to word. And believe me, if you just practice this way, then inshallah soon this word to word will become very easy, and you would be able to do the ayat without any difficulty. Even inshallah, I don't know, we are aiming to finish our Surah Baqra, right? So by the end of Surah Baqara, inshallah, you would be pro if you just pay attention and stay focused and do the way I'm doing it with you guys. Okay, so that was our one ayah, and I'm gonna explain you what it is saying, right? Because what this ayah is saying, أَوْ كَصَيِّبٍ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us an example of a rainstorm. This rainstorm is coming from the sky, right? Rainstorm is coming from the sky, and fihi, in it are zulumat, darkness, warad, and thunderclap or thunderstorm, and berg and lightning. So basically what this ayah is telling us, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is resembling or making a simile of rainstorm to the revelation of Quran. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that revelation or wahi ilahi is coming from the sky, right? And in this revelation, in this wahi of wahi ilahi, of wahi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there are darkness, right? And then there are rod, and then there are berg. So three things are mentioned over here. So this zulumat, so this is Sayyib is what? Wahi ilahi. Revelation, basically Quran, right? And in this Quran are zulumat, and this zulumat is referring to commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do's and don'ts, right? Okay, then Rod. What is Rod? Rod is very loud, something very loud, right? And it scares. So that is basically warnings, warning, consequences, punishments, because the Quran is giving us all different kinds of ayat. Some ayat are giving us warning, right? They are threatening. They are basically preparing us that, okay, if you do that, then you are going to see some consequences. Some ayat are describing Jahannam, right? So this is Rod. And then berg is lightning. Lightning has hope in it, right? So berg is referring to good news. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran Pak tells us about Jannah, right? About the good news. We just had our like first group. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to them? Ulaika humul muflihun, right? So this is basically hope, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving them a certification. So if we follow their footsteps, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to certify us as well, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given an example that the example of hypocrite is that there is a rainstorm. In this rainstorm are all different kinds of warnings, good news is, commands, right? And then what is the attitude of these hypocrites? يَجْعَلُونَ, they are putting أَصَابِعَهُمْ فِي آذَانِهِمْ مِنَ الصَّوَاعِقِ حَذَرَ الْمَوْتِ. So this is their attitude. What they are doing, are they ready to act upon this ayat, or they are showing something else, right? So they are simile over here is that when do we put our finger in our ears? When we are trying to ignore something, when we do not want to hear, right? We might have seen this attitude within our family as well, right? We are talking to our kids, and sometimes they are not in the mood of listening to our advices, right? So what they are doing, they are ignoring these advices, not listening to us, not paying attention, not even looking at us, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving example of these hypocrites, how they are behaving when they hear the revelation coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When they listen to the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is their behavior, that they are behaving like they don't want to hear, right? So they are putting their fingers into their finger into their ears. And why they are doing it? First of all, they are basically do not want to hear all this sawaik. Sawaik is basically rad, right? So they do not want to hear all these warnings and all these punishments or all these consequences of their acts, right? And today, even in our household, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or rather Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, has told us that we should remember death every single day, right? Many times a day, because this is our true destination. But what happens when we are talking about death to our family? Subhanallah, why you are talking about it, right? So they don't want to hear, right? So, and so they are doing it because once these ayat are very threatening to them, right? And it feels like they are just going to die, right? So acting upon the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for them is like a death. Allahu Akbar, right? So this is so scary, and I can see myself over here. Some commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are so hard on our nerves that sometimes, even though we know, okay, this is a consequence, right? But I just manage to ignore, right? So this ayah is clearly telling us that was the attitude of hypocrites. And why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that we do not want to be behaving like hypocrites, because hypocrites are going to be they're gonna be in the lowest pit of hellfire, even lower than kafirin. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Wallahu muhitun bil kafirin. Muhit, we know the word ahata karna. Urdu speaker know, right? What is ahata? Ahata is when we are surrounding, right? What happened? So when we are surrounding something. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that Wallahu, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is muhit. He is surrounding, he is watching them, right? Watching who? Kafirin. And over here, he is not saying munafiqeen, right? So munafiq, even though they have a belief in Allah subhanahu, and over here, last example, over here we have this ayah. Masaluhum ka masalil lazi istawqada nara. right? So that was the example of hypocrisy of etiqad. So they were not believer at all. They did not believe Islam at all. But over here, this ayah is referring to the hypocrisy of action, basically, right? So this is the hypocrisy of action. So they have belief. They have belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? But their actions are not there. Since their actions are not there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting them as a kafir. He is not saying that, okay, yes, they have a belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so put them in some other category, or he could have said munafiqeen over here, but he is putting them in kafirin. So may Allah make us, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not make us among these group, right? So the hypocrisy of action is very common in anyone, right? We all are basically the prey of this hypocrisy. So we need to make sure that whatever sign we have, we need to fix them. So the first example, the ayah number 17 and 18, mathaluhum kamathalil ladzi istawqada nara, right? So that previous ayah, that was the ayah of hypocrisy of belief, of etiqad, right? They didn't accept Islam from heart at first place. They were just pretending. And the example we can remember like a spy. But this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the hypocrisy of the action. They accepted Islam from heart at first place, but then they found some commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hard on their nafs, right? For hypocrites of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's time, their what was hard on them? Spending in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was hard on them. Jihad in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was hard on them, right? So, but today, subhanallah, there are so many commands. If we look ourselves, right, so many commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala we find hard on our nafs, right? And we claim that we are Muslim. So they did not practice Islam sincerely, and then slowly, due to their disobedience, right, and lack of iman, they start losing Islam, and they then only name remain Muslim. And it is true even today. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to imagine rain pouring from sky, dark clouds of rain spread darkness, there is a thunder and lightning in it, and they put their finger in their ears so hard out of fear of death. Because aswabia is the full finger, basically. Can we put our full finger in our ear? If we try to put finger in our ear, basically we can just if you look at your index finger, I have 3 pores, right? So only if I want to put the first pore, just the half part of it I can put, right? So for the pores, the word should be anamil. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not use the word anamil over here. Rather, he is using the word aswabiya, which is referring to a full finger. So what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is picturizing over here is that they are basically trying their best to put the whole thing that they do not want to hear anything. right? So this is the situation Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is picturizing here. So the sayyab is not a regular rain. Rather, it is a rainstorm, and it is referring to wahi ilahi. Fihi zulumatum wa radum wa barq. So in it are ahkam ilahi, commands, do's and don'ts. There are warning, there are punishment, there are promises. Rain is referring to wahi from Quran, right? Wahi ilahi coming from the sky, right? Wahi ilahi and Quran, we can say. Revelation of Quran. Ayat of Quran are very different kind. Some have inzar. Inzar mean warning, threatening. Some are giving good news of Jannah, and some are giving rulings. Do this and don't do this. So rainstorm will spread darkness and have thunder and lightning in it. It is referring to the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which are hard on our nerves. So yajaluna aswabiyahum fi adhanihim min aswaiki hadar al-maut. What is the attitude of hypocrites? They insert their finger into ears so forcefully, look like the whole finger is in their ears. Following the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are very heavy on them. It's like a death for them. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Wallahu muhitun bil kafirin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching them, watching their behavior. Their behavior is being recorded, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has left their leash loose for them, right? But He has full control over them. He has full authority over them. Whenever He wanna wish, He can what is that called? He can just pull their leash, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is fully aware of their behavior. It is being recorded, and He has full control over them. Now, what is this simile of rain and the revelation of Quran? So the rain gives life to dead land. All plantation grows due to this water of rain, right? Same is the Quran. It gives life to dead hearts. Quran, Deen of Islam, right? This is basically our lifeline. This is the water for our hearts, and it plants the seed of Iman in our heart, right? It helps make our Iman grow stronger and stronger. Our heart is our lifeline. But without Quran, it is dead spiritually. Who is saying that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying it. So in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the heart that does not have any connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with His book, with His deen, this heart is dead. Zulumat is referring to laws, commands, ahkamat, right, which are hard to follow, and it varies from man to man, right? Some commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are easy for me to follow, right? And what is easy for me can be hard on others, and what is hard for me can be easy on others. So the level of difficulty is different from people to people. For some people, spending is easy. For other people, it is like death to them, right? Then wrath, ayat of punishment and consequences, thunderbolt, they are very loud. And then barq is lightning, hope, ayat of glad tidings, good news. So it is capturing that they are inserting pores of fingers so hard into their ears that look like they are putting the whole finger. So instead of anamil, aswabia is being used over here to picturize, to capture this scene. And another beautiful thing for this present tense is that, and present tense, how you're going to recognize when it is starting with Anita beginning. When I say Anita beginning, it means it can start with Hamza or Noon or Ya. Ya in this case you can see, or Ta, right? So when we see any words starting with any of these, that means this is a present tense. And present tense means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is basically painting a scene, picturizing, and it is also used for continuity. The past tense is a one-time act, but the present tense is has continuity in it. So over here, if we are take this continuity part, that it has istamrar in it, right? So that means that behavior would remain. They were doing that back then, but we find this attitude every single day, in every era, in every time, in every generation. We're going to see that behavior. Subhanallah. Right? So that's why the grammar is so important, that basically without grammar, Quran cannot touch our hearts. Right? So I'm trying wherever I can capture for you guys and to make it easy. But we need to put some effort for learning the language of Quran. So yaj'aluna is a present tense, and this attitude will continue happening. As-sawaiki hadar al-maut, news of punishment is very hard on them, doesn't want to hear it or hear them, and avoiding them. Following Quran is like a death to them. Allahu Akbar. And this is so true for us as a Muslim. And then, Wallahu muhitun bil kafirin. Muhit, they are completely in the range of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They cannot escape his grip. In Quran Pak, many other in other places, and some I captured for you guys over here. وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَعْمَالُهُمْ كَسَرَابٍ. We know the sarab, right? What is sarab? Sarab is miraj. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that those who reject or disbelieve, right? Their amaluhum, their amal, their action, their deeds, are like what? Ka, again, like what? Sarab, miraj. What is miraj? Miraj is something, this is basically and that delude you, right? You see that, okay, there is water, but when you get to closer to that place, nothing is there, right? So they are thinking that they are doing an amazing job in terms of action. They don't hurting someone or deceiving someone, or they think that we are very honest and we are reformers, right? But if the iman is not there, if they are not doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if the sincerity is not there, if the action are not done according to the prescribed way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then basically they are sarab, they are miraj, right? So they are not going to avail these, avail the consequences or the reward of their actions. Doesn't matter how honest life they have spent, right? But if the action were not done for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, unfortunately, they won't be able to get any reward out of these actions. And then it's also says, Aw kazulumatin fi bahril lujiyin, right? So or the state of a disbeliever is like a darkness in the vast, deep sea. Right? So this darkness is referring to kufr, rejection, hypocrisy, right? Because hypocrisy is the basically the thing that leads to misguidance. Subhanallah, we all okay. I'm gonna continue with this ayah. Inshallah, this is not very long ayah because they are basically have a similar message, so we have to finish it today, inshallah. So next ayah is yakadul barku. So yakadu mean it is about to. Bark, we already know bark now, lightning. So the lightning is about to yakhtafu, snatch away absarahum, their eyesight. Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that this lightning is about to snatch their eyesight. Kullama, whenever, adwa'a, it is, adwa'a mean like diya, like a
Lamp?
light.
Lamp light, yeah.
The light of moon is called diya. Why? Because light of sun has heat in it. But the light of moon does not have heat in it. And that is called diya. So kullama, whenever, adwa'a, there is light, lahum, for them, mashaw, they walk, fihi, in it. Wa idha azulama, and when it is dark, alayhim, on them, qamu, they stand still. They don't move. They're not doing anything. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had willed, لَا ذَهَبَ بِسَمْعِهِمْ, He would have taken away, snatched away their sam'ihim wa absarihim. And this is basically Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala referring to their tools of guidance. Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that He would have taken all their abilities to accept guidance. And inna Allah, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no doubt about it. Right? Inna, it comes when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is basically refuting something. Right? So he's saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ala kulli shayin qadir, He has all these powers. He has all this authority. It's very easy for him to do whatever he is mentioning, that he can snatch away all their abilities. But somehow he is giving some time period. He is giving them opportunity that they can return. Right? So what is this example now? And again, you can see that we don't have enough time left now, so I'm not going to go. But I highlighted over here with a color. So you're going to just go and see that what is fail or ism and harf in this ayah. So now, yakadul barku yakhtafu absarahum. It is a warning. The lightning is about to snatch their resources of guidance. Didn't happen yet. Out of mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is just giving them warning, right? Get your acts together, fix yourself, right? Otherwise, it's gonna happen. And that is out of His mercy, right? So it can happen, fear it, and get your acts together. And this is for us. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us sit together and go through these ayat, right? He knows that there are flaws, right? I have all these hypocrisy of action in my heart. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making me sit over here and talk about this ayat, right? So yakadul barku yahtafu absarahum. So that is lesson for us that we need to get our acts together. We need to fix ourselves, realize that, okay, I have this problem and I need to fix it. And then absar is plural, referring to the all opportunities, doors, and resources of guidance, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can completely close all the doors, all the resources, all the opportunities that can come in my way, if He wish. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Kullama adwa'a lahum ashawfihi wa idha adlama alayhim kamu. So hard times. When hard times comes, right? Or, when the commands are hard on us, or the time is such that it is hard to follow, right? Then I'm going to stop. So adwa'a versus azlama. Adwa'a referring to light, right? So light is referring to easy command, easy times. So when the time is easy, yes, they are mashafi, they walk in it, meaning they do a little act of Islam, of Deen, right? So they are doing it. But وَإِذَا أَظْلَمَ عَلَيْهِمْ, but when the times are hard or commands are hard, then they just stop, right? They ignore. And what I can think over here is our weddings, right? Or in Ramadan, reading Quran, reciting Quran, right? And praying, tahajjud, and all that stuff, subhanallah, very easy. Because this time is easy, everyone is doing it, right? So it's very easy to follow along. But when I'm sitting in a wedding party, and then it is salah time, right? So, okay, it's okay. I will pray at home, right? And when you get home, it's too late, you're too lazy, and sometime it's not gonna happen. Or in winter time, these days Fajr Salah is 3:48. 3:48. Allahu Akbar, right? So who is going to wake up for the Fajr? So when the time is easy, yes, they follow, but when time is hard, when the commands like it's hard to follow along. And there are many tons of example. This is very basic example I have given over here, right? But what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I think this ayah is also in Surah Baqra, and inshallah we are going to see it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, Udkhulu fi silmi kafa. Enter Islam completely. There isn't any pick and choose in it, right? So I cannot do, okay, this is easy command, so okay, I'm gonna follow along, but no, this one is hard, I can't do that. Wearing hijab, no, it's very hard on me, I can't do that, right? So, but salah, okay, I will pray salah. So it's not pick and choose over here. We have to enter Islam completely. وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَذَهَبَ بِسَمْعِهِمْ وَأَبْصَارِهِمْ. Again, he is warning that fix your behaviors before all doors of guidance be closed on you, right? So, سَمْعِهِمْ and أَبْصَارِهِمْ, our hearing and our eyesight, right? These are the resources that we get guidance from, and then it's gonna touch our heart, right? And then we are going to do tasdeeq bil lisan and bil qalb, right? And then we are going to bring our action. So this is how iman works, But if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to take away our sam and absar, then nothing gonna left. All these basically the doors of guidance. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Inna Allaha ala kulli shayin qadir. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is qadir word. Whenever you're gonna see any word rhyming with this qadir, do we know any other word? Rahim, Kareem. What else? Rahim, Kareem. Subhanallah.
Zahir.
Wali.
Maybe Muqim.
Nazir.
Yeah, name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah, Muqim, Ayman. Muqim, right? So the words that are rhyming with this qadir, so basically this word pattern has abundance in it, right? So the action is that he is qadir, like he has full power, full control. It has intensity in it, and it has eternity in it. So it's not like he has power today, but tomorrow he's not going to have any power, or maybe a less power, right? He has power when we were not there, right? So from day one, he has all this power, and on the last till the last day, he's going to have all, right? So all times.
Kaharo. Yeah, but Kaharo, like all prevailing, continuing forever.
Which one?
Kaharo. Al-Kaharo.
No, that is not rhyming with Rahim. I'm talking about this pattern.
Okay, it's everlasting, right?
Everlasting, yeah.
Yeah. So eternity, it has eternity in it. So when we have this pattern, Qadir, Rahim, Kareem, right? So that is showing the abundance, intensity, and eternity in it. Continuity also, right? So that is basically telling us that he has all authorities, all powers. No one can challenge his powers at all. Does anyone, if he wish to take away all the resources from someone, right? Is there anyone who's gonna ask or question him why did you do that? No one has authority, right? So this is Qadir basically. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. So what are the lessons in these ayat? Ayah 19 and 20. And with this ayah, we have finished the traits of hypocrisy that were coming in this ayah in certain order, right? We are going to keep seeing them time to time in Quran Pak, right? But we said that from ayah 13 to 20, all these ayat are talking about munafiqeen because these three groups are mentioned over here. So today we have finished these traits of munafiq. So what we are learning in ayah number 19 and 20, what are the lessons from us? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning this trait of hypocrisy or the signs of this hypocrisy for a reason. So we learn lesson, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not mention any stories or anything without a reason. And the reason is that we learn lesson from them. So the lesson for us is that we need to check ourselves. Do I truly take Quran as a guide in my life and have love for it? Do I show willingness to obey the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when I hear them? Or I only follow when they are easy. Otherwise, I ignore and find excuses and try to cover my ears like these hypocrites are doing. Right? Yes, every command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not easy on our nafs because we have weak iman. Right? So, but Should I say, okay, no, my iman is not there yet, so just I'm going to ignore this command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or I'm going to react hard on that? Why this command over here? What is the purpose? What is the, even though if we do not understand the purpose or reasoning, because our intellect is very limited, right? We cannot see through all the hikmah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has in his command, right? So what should be the attitude? The attitude should be that, oh Allah, this command is hard on me, but I really want to try, right? You help me out. So make your intention that you're gonna try, right? You're gonna try. Yes, we're gonna fail, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always there. He does not held accountable to us when we fail, right? We fail, but we try again, and we do not abandon, right? So that should be our attitude. So we need to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He can help us, that we imply whatever we are learning, whatever commands we are finding hard on ourselves, that He help us, that we walk on that path, right? But ignoring them or finding excuses, right? Or not learning the deen. Literally, I heard with my own ears that people does not want to learn deen for a reason. What is the reason? Then they have to act upon it. Allahu Akbar. So basically, they are leading to the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because this is the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we should learn our deen. Ihdina sirat al-mustaqim, sirat al-lazina an'amta alayhim. And then we are saying, Ghayril Maghdub, right? Who is this Ghayril Maghdub? They have knowledge, but they did not act upon it. And then Walad Dalin, who are these Dalin? That they did not even bother themselves to take any knowledge, right? So we are saying that, okay, I'm going to just good enough to stay as a Dalin. I don't want to learn knowledge. This is not the solution. We are going to be held accountable, right? So ignoring them or finding excuses is not going to help. We need to learn our deen, and we need to try as much as we can. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran Pak that do according to your abilities. He know our weaknesses. At least we need to try. At least we need to try. So then we can tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yes, we tried. And He is watching all our struggles, right? So we should be like the companions of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What was their attitude whenever they hear any command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? They used to say, Sami'na wa atwana. Versus Bani Israel, what was their attitude? Their attitude was, Sami'na, we heard it, Nauz billah, wa asrayna, and we are going to disobey. Right? And then we see that they became the group of Al-Maghdub. That is the reason. Sami'na wa asrayna. But we want to be this group. Sami'na wa atwana. And that is the group An'amta alayhim. Right? So may Allah make us among them. So what is the homework? Word to word, ayah 1920. Then what does rainstorm, darkness, thunder, and lightning stand for in ayah number 19? And I want you guys to have your own words, please. Do not take anything from my notes. What is the lesson for us in ayah 19 and 20? So you're gonna come up with your own lessons. I have given you some lessons. These are the lessons that I thought of, right? So now you can think of your lessons from it. Think of one command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that is for everyone. And inshallah, I'm gonna also work on that. think of one command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala which is hard on your nafs, and then make sincere intention to imply it in your life and start acting on it. Right? So that should be our attitude, that when we hear any ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we should be ready to act upon it. We are not going through these ayah just for the sake of just keeping ourselves busy, or maybe I don't know what other reason it could be. Rather, we are here that we bring change in our life, right? So that is, inshallah, we all need to work on. And if you are comfortable, you can share privately with me that what was hard on you and how you cope on it and how you are doing it, acting on it, right? Inshallah. And then keep memorizing duas and pronouns that are mentioned in the session. So this is the homework. And last homework I checked, only 5 homeworks, which is very disappointing. Right? Do your homeworks, otherwise you won't be able to continue this journey, because you need motivation. You need to learn. You need to imply, right? So if you have done all these homework, whatever is assigned, inshallah, you're gonna find next homeworks easy on you, right? The word to word will become very easy on you. So this is my advice. Please do as much homework as you want. And if you're really proud of your homework, you can share it privately with me as well, because sometimes I'm not getting time to go on Google Classroom, right? So if you really think that you did a best job and you want to share with me, go ahead. You're going to please share with me. That would make me proud of you, inshallah. So with that, we can end our session. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Quran al-Hakim wa nafani wa iyyakum bi ayati wa zikril hakim. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifuna. Wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.